right, guys, let's talk about something here. I just saw another one of those bumper stickers that say coexist. And yeah, it's so clever. You know, all the little letters are of a different, you know, so-called Christian symbolism and all this. And the funny thing is the people in this country, the most giving country on the planet, are wearing this for other Americans to see and using this on their car. Now, why do I take up issue with that? The reason I take issue with that is because this country gives more to foreign countries than anybody else on the planet. Remember when Obama sent an airplane with pallets full of cash into Iran? The same country that its leaders and people get up and chant death to America and burn our flag? Want to see us wiped off the face of the earth? Why don't you go tell them to coexist? Why are you here telling us in this country to coexist? All the people beheading people in the Muslim religion, those people that are out killing people, beheading people, putting them in cages and drowning them. You know, I got a little factoid for some of you that might not know. All these people that are sympathizers toward these Middle Eastern countries. Did you know that in these Middle Eastern countries that they still have punishments for gays, sex before marriage? You can go to prison for this type of stuff. In some of these countries, what they'll do, if they find out somebody's gay, they'll take them up on top of a building. How many floors? You don't know. You're blindfolded. They'll throw you off of a building. Can you imagine this? Throw you off of a building blindfolded, and you fall to your death. So why is that such cruel and unusual torture? Can you imagine not knowing how high up in the air you are, 6 feet or 600 feet, and you're blindfolded and you get thrown off of a building not knowing when you're going to hit the ground? Can you imagine that? How crazy that is? So what I guess my question is why are you telling people in this country to coexist? Because you're afraid somebody said something offensive when they're over there killing people? They're over in those countries killing people? And you think that somebody that might have said something offensive, you're trying to sway to be the right person and do the right thing? Come on, give me a break. Give me a break, guys. I just have to rant about this. I can't take what's going on in this country anymore. They canceled Pepe Le Pew, cartoon characters from when I was a kid growing up. Yet Andrew Cuomo has now had 7 women come forward that say that he sexually groped them or kissed them unwanted, grabbed them, all these things coming out. And yet it's okay for your child to say, look, there's the governor of New York, and all these allegations are out with these women about the things he did to them sexually while he was in public office. And it's fine for your kids to see all that and to see that you can just be a governor and touch people and kiss them and do what you want, and you can be the New York governor. But no, Pepe Le Pew, the cartoon, we can't have that. We have to cancel that. Why aren't you canceling Cuomo? What's that telling your kids? We're canceling Dr. Seuss and banning that book. Look, guys, always the Nazi regimes and regimes like it are always the ones that ban and burn books. There is no such thing. They're saying, oh, we're retiring it. No, you're just trying to call it a different name than what it is. You're banning books. And there's going to be a backlash in this country for that. Why do they want to ban books? Why is that? I've seen a picture and I still don't understand, of the Dr. Seuss, and they're saying because it was an Asian guy eating rice That's why it has to be banned. It looked like just a guy standing there. Can anybody tell me where all these Asians are that are so outraged and feel so discriminated against? Where are all these Asian people that feel so downtrodden and walked upon? I don't know any like that. From what I've seen online, they're saying this is crazy. You know why, guys? I'm going to tell you why. This stuff is being pushed and propagated by the LGBTQ, TFA, CDE community, the gay community, more than anyone else. The white gay community is what is propagating this from what I see online, because their ultimate goal is to ban the Bible. They want somebody to either rewrite a book or ban the Bible outright altogether. That's their goal. It's not because it showed a guy in the dress that they wear over there and eating rice. I mean, so what? You could show somebody from this country and show them eating a hamburger. What's the big deal? Where is all the outraged people that this is supposed to be affecting? They're non-existent. I don't get this, man. They use, the Democratic Party uses minorities so much in this country to get their agenda pushed. They use them. They use them. That's why we call it the Democratic plantation. Now, I know some Democrats that are good people. I know some Democrats that I'm friends with. I'm not trying to paint everybody with the same brush, okay? But, there's a far left-wing extremist faction out there that is trying to drastically change this country, and don't think that gun control won't fall in with that. The way this country's pushing towards guns don't have a place in that world. Well, the bad guys would have them. And it's always the head top people that want to take away our rights. They always want to strip our rights. And I'm going to tell you guys something else. I'm going to let you in on another little factoid. You want to know the first instance of gun control? When they freed the slaves, the Democratic Party, they thought, whoa, wait a minute. We can't have these people armed. And that same gun control is being pushed till this day. You know, all this stuff that they want to do and want to get through, and if they had their way, they would do it. While them and their children is sitting there fully armed, surrounded by guns with other men, they want to tell you and your family can't have a gun to protect yourself in the home or in the car. They want to dictate to you how many rounds you can choose to protect your body with. A woman can't choose more than 10 rounds to protect her body with. If she's living alone and has kids, home invaders come. It's happened. I can show you news stories where it's happened. 3 home invaders, a woman and her children hiding in a closet. You gonna tell me that you're gonna give her an AR-15 and say you can only hold 10 rounds? Why? Because 10 rounds, some magical number they pulled out of the air? It said, we just dreamed up this number 10, and it's the sticking point number that we're going to stick with, and we're going to limit it to that. What rationale is that? A standard capacity magazine for an AR-15 is 30 rounds. That's what it was designed for, designed with, and that's what comes with it. 10 rounds is a neutered magazine. 30 rounds is not high capacity. Then they always want to gravitate toward the 100-round magazine thing, guys. Let me tell you, there are maybe some 100-round magazines nowadays that are okay, but to me, those are a novelty thing, the 100-round magazine. It's just, when you got that many rounds in a spring, and something that's on a spring, you know, and it's so heavy, it's hard to wield, it's not easily maneuverable, in my opinion, with 100 rounds hanging on it. And they always want to gravitate toward that and use that as their common denominator. How many crimes in the last 10 years were committed with a recovered 100-round magazine. I can think of one, that's it. I can think of one. So, what are we going towards? You know what I mean? All this crime that's committed is by handguns. They just want us disarmed. There's no other way around it. And if they get this so-called universal background check through, number one, there's no way to enforce it. So what they have to do next is make a national gun registry. That's the only way you can enforce it. I've got guns going back 15 years that I bought private sale that aren't in nobody's name. There's no registry in Ohio. Some states already have a registry. We don't. So, if they were to say everything has to go through a background check where I live, you could still buy and sell guns the rest of your life to private parties. And if anyone ever found you with that gun and looked up the serial number, they don't know when you bought that firearm. You could have bought it 5 years ago from a private party, or you could have bought it under the new restrictions where it all has to go through a background check. That's why they would have to use a national gun registry to back up that system, or it doesn't work. And you know what happens once they register. They know where everything's at, and then they can confiscate. That's what it leads to. We don't need this, you know? My private property is mine. I'm getting ready to buy a firearm off of a relative of mine. You guys will have to wait and see what that is. It's something I've wanted for a long time. And it is a handgun, that's all I'm going to say. But it's something I've wanted for a really long time. And I'm buying it off a relative. Now, you know, stupid, like I'm going to go pay a dealer a fee to do a background check, you know? Because that also adds fees to your firearms sale. So I feel in these states where they make you go through a background check on the face-to-face transaction, that should be free. That a citizen should be able to do that somehow and let it be free and not have to pay that fee, because you're getting taxed by the state on an item that you personally own or you're personally buying. Wow, I kind of went off on a tangent there, guys, with all kinds of stuff. But yeah, talk to me in the United States about coexist. They're over there beheading people and drowning people in cages and throwing people off buildings. They still use slaves and everything else. And they want to tell us to coexist because somebody offended them. Yeah, coexist. Yeah. Coexist, guys. Guys over there cutting people's heads off on video, holding their head up in the air by its hair, telling us over here to coexist. Yeah. Yeah, we really need that. We really need your little bumper sticker. It's going to change the world. Change the world, baby. Your little bumper sticker telling people to coexist. That thought-provoking thing is really going to push a lot of people into not cutting heads off over here in the United States, right? All right, guys, I better get off this. I'll talk to you guys later. DOF, out.